Hello everyone, this is Michael with Fat Troll Gaming. I am re-recording a video I posted a couple days ago um, with my League Starter build. We've gotten the patch notes and I am happy to say that it didn't really phase us at all. The only thing is that Glancing Blows did take a hit. We're now only getting 65% of our damage, or we're taking 65% of the damage from blocked hits. This is not as bad as it sounds. It's still pretty. It's not great, but it's not the end of the world. We're going to be able to survive this and still have some good defense along with our mind over matter. So I went ahead and did the path of building and set it up for running totems from the get-go. This is based off of Big Duck's Divine Ire totems, but I've changed it, the leveling trees, to support a totem playstyle from the get-go. What we are going to go ahead and do is use Holy Flame Totem after completing the Breaking Eggs quest in Act 1, and then grab these nodes right here and rush to Ancestral Bond. Adding an additional totem increases our damage by a lot, even though we can't deal damage with skills ourselves. This isn't really a big issue. Totems can handle pretty much anything. It allows you to have a lot of mobility even early on, and allows you to just drop a totem, keep moving. It allows for what I feel is a faster play style. Now after we rush and grab this, so after that, you will be needing to pick up Spell Totem from the vendor when you go and buy Mervel. And we switch over to Arc Totems for leveling until we're ready to switch over to Divine Ire. Now after rushing over to Ancestral Bond, we come over here and grab these block nodes here. I like to grab these block nodes here, and then grab life. You don't need to grab this life actually. I'm not sure why I picked that up. You just want to grab these block nodes and the Glancing Blows. Then these life nodes here. From there, move on. You want to come down here, grab Domino and the Agnostic, and then these life nodes here. Agnostic adds a ton of life recovery, especially since we are grabbing these mana nodes. And at this point, you should be hitting your second lab. Now, I recommend for your first lab grabbing Pursuit of Faith and then Virtual Waking. I rely on moving around instead of any sort of tankiness while leveling for my defense. Like, honestly, avoiding hits and knowing your boss fights allows you to play a lot more loose, especially in softcore. Now, if I was doing hardcore, instead of grabbing Pursuit of Faith right off the get-go, I'd grab probably Divine Guidance for the additional mana and the Mind Over Matter buff. But your second lab, it's really up to you. You can go with the Ritual Awakening. I like it because it gives us more damage and allows us to summon 2 totems at a time instead of 1. And then the other thing I like here is Divine Guide. You can go with Divine Guidance. This will go if you're feeling a little squishy. This will give you the tankiness that you need. Kind of up to you, but we're going to grab Mind Over Matter at this point. Grab these life and mana region nodes. Grab this mana and life. Grab this mana over here. We're going to grab some spell crit chance because we are switching over to Divine Ire at this point. Then, when you're getting into maps, all we do is come down here, grab Sanctum of Thought. Once you have, by that point, you should be able to afford your Soul Mantle. Grab these additional Arcane Surge, additional crit, some more. We grab our jewel sockets at this point for like Spire of Stone or Self-Flagellation if you have the curse. If you have the Soul Mantle and everything, socket a Self-Flagellation in there. Then when we get to the end here, we fill out this life node here. At that point, we come in here, we grab this, we grab our additional jewel sockets, we finish up this mana here, grab a little extra life there, and this is a tree without having a Thread of Hope. At this point, we also should be grabbing your third lab at the very least. At that point, we want to do Divine Guidance, and then after that, Dimension of Power if you have it. And we'll see here with that, and just this gear I have from a standard character that I just slapped together for a few chaos. I'm in Standard League. As you see, it's not the greatest gear. I have a Soul Mantle. It's not even 6 linked, it's only 5 linked. We have these 2 rings, which are actually fairly decently rolled. But as you can see, it's just resist, life, mana, resist, life, mana. And like, some of this isn't even that good. Some stats so that we can hit everything. The important part is to get your 25% physical damage converted to lightning on your gloves. And then a trigger socketed spell when you use a skill on your wand. That way your Cold Snap, Conductivity, and Tempest Shield just go off all the time. This tree is without a Thread of Hope. So Thread of Hope is an in-game item. Day 1, the market is not going to be flooded with them. And it'll take a little while before you might be able, it might take like 2 or 3 days before we can get Threads of Hope if you need to buy it and you can't just farm it yourself. And then you need specifically a medium Thread of Hope. So with that, the final tree, the tree with the Thread of Hope, just has us use some Red Orbs to pull some things off, and we just keep these notables: the Divine Wrath, Divine Judgment, Sanctum of Thought. We drop this 8% mana, and then we grab this life wheel here for some more tankiness. And we finish this life wheel here for just some additional life. It's pretty much all we're doing with those points is life. That way we're tanky and we don't have to worry about bosses and stuff. And then of course, this gets you up to level 90. The full tree, we just fill out some additional things. Then we come down here, grab Unwavering Stance so we can't be stunned. And if you are, when you anoint, let's see here, it looks like I moved it. Nope, it's right here. When you when you anoint your amulet. A good one here is either Arcane Swiftness, just a um, or Doomcast. You know, if you want a little extra attack, if you want some extra defense, you go with a shield node. So that is basically the build. Now, I will be streaming tomorrow, and when I do stream, we will go ahead and do a league start practice. So I will be running from Act 1 2 maps as quickly as I can using this build. I do recommend practicing before league start. Usually you want to run 2 or 3 times with the build that you're planning on running. Just do it in solo self-found if you're not planning on playing with a party, or just do it in standard and do it in standard with a party if you're playing with your friends. That way you know what you're going to be doing and how to do it. And of course there'll be little changes, but everything should still pretty much run the same. Practicing just a couple of times before league start will speed you up significantly, because you have it all in your head and ready to go. If you need a guide on how or what areas to run and where your labyrinth trials are and where your additional skill points are for those new players, Badger has created this wonderful leveling guide, has his preferred route, and shows the additional skill points. This is Acts 1 through 10. He also has individual pictures for each of the individual acts as well, and it shows everything in great detail. You can keep this one up and kind of use it as a reference, or you can kind of plan out your own. Obviously not with this, but this shows you where the skill points are, which is very useful. That way you don't forget anything, and it also shows you where the labs are and where some optional quests are for like an additional movement speed flask, etc. So this was really well done, put together by Badger. Suggest you check him out. He has some good build guides and makes some good content. But so I will be streaming my practice league start tomorrow over on my Twitch at Fat Troll Gaming, and then I'll post clips from that for each individual act later on to YouTube. So have a good night and keep trolling.